Following just a quick overview of kind of the account-based sales process that we have. I'll send you the link to a blog post that I wrote related to it. And what it comes down to is the concept of market segmentation. So, what areas are you focusing on and what type of companies? Then the account segmentation. So, what accounts are we going to target? And then we come down here into buyer segmentation. Who are the people that we're interested in and we're going to focus on? And then four-step user segmentation. So that comes down to a lot of what is it, who's involved in the buying process. So we've got a bunch of people that we think we want to get a better understand who's involved in the buying process, and then what are some of the issues that these buyers have. So what is the market problem? Why would they look at your particular services? And then when we look at the buyer segmentation, who are the people and how are they involved in the buying process? So that's our objective. We use a few different tools. So one is kind of a mapping tool. It helps us with our market planning on that. So the example I'm giving here is I'm saying, hey, market segment, we're going to go after accounts in and around the Grand Prairie area that's easy for us to drive from your new office. And the other thing that I'm going to look at is I want to focus on accounts that have facilities with rotating equipment like processors, gas compressors, and pumps. So that might be an example of the market segmentation. I'll work with you on what the defined market segmentation is, but we could say, hey, let's take a look at these accounts that fit that particular market segmentation that we're looking for here. Then when I come down, I could zoom in a little bit and kind of show you here. We get a bunch of results associated with that. The results are displayed down here in a table. And then we can come in here now. We've gone from our market segmentation, which is the Grand Prairie geographic region, and they've got processing facilities. Now we're in the account segmentation. So who are the accounts that we are interested in, and what are we going to do to penetrate those particular accounts? So a lot of these guys are rather big accounts, so it could take a little bit for us to drill down on that. So I'll pick a smaller one just as an example. So when we look at Blackbird, the next focus at that would be to come in here and say, okay, I'm interested in the Blackbird account. So I'm just going to come over here and just click this and open this up so we can do a search here. I'll keep the map open and I can say, okay, Blackbird is Blackbird is a company that I'm interested in. And then we come in and we identify that. So, and then when we come in and we identify that account, Blackbird, this is where we start to look at the LinkedIn playing a much bigger role on that side of it. One of the things that we have, and I'll take a look here from a contact perspective. I've already done a lot of scraping of the people related to Blackbird, but what we'll do in your instance is we'll identify this as a target account, somebody that we're interested in. Here we can see the account in sales or in LinkedIn Navigator. We come in and we select Navigator, and then this becomes our connection campaign. So what we want to do is we want to reach out to the different people. So we've got 17 employees on there, and we're also going to use some other sources to identify some people. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a campaign to reach out to as many of these people or all of these people to see if we can get them connected to your instance of Navigator, as well as getting those contacts back into Salesforce. Once I've done that, we're going to be structuring the data in your instance. Nice thing about it is we'll save them as leads, so you'll instantly see the people there when you go to the Blackbird account in LinkedIn Navigator. And then we'll come down here and we'll be able to see who the people that, who is LinkedIn recommending that I look at, and then who am I connected to and who am I not connected to. So our objective is to get those connections. Once we get those connections, then it becomes a campaign of trying to identify, who and what is involved in maintaining your existing facilities, that compressor station. It also could be related to any new activity they're doing. So that example there would be when we come down here in your instance of Salesforce, we're coming in and we're saying, okay, here are all of the facilities that are being put in. Here are all the new well licenses that they've taken out. And then here are all the Canadian pipeline or the pipeline facilities that they're putting out. When I come in here and I take a look at at this, what I can see here is, what has their drilling activity been, and then ultimately what is their well license activity been, so we can start to identify or use that as a trigger for us to reach out to the particular customer. So when we look at this, we see it's a pad 6 of 33. And then they also, we come down here, so there's a potential they're going to put a large pad in. We're now going to use this information, 06 of 33, in our LinkedIn or in our messaging. So we have a couple choices. We can email them directly, or we can use our social networking, and we can go back to Blackbird. We can identify who the account or our contacts who connected to us, and then we can come in and we can message them, and then I can say, hey, 6 of 33, I see you're potentially going to be drilling a large pad there. Wondering if there's an opportunity, what kind of automation that you're going to require, and is there an opportunity for us to bid on that particular project? So we're really embracing both kind of the CRM and as well as the social networking side of things. And so again, the objective that we look at is I'll sit down and I'll work with you, and we'll say, hey, what's your market segmentation? We've got your geographic offices. We'll look at what type of accounts are in there. Which ones would you like to target? We'll build that ideal list of market segmented customers. Then when we look at the buyers, we'll use LinkedIn, and we'll start our campaign of connecting with these people. And then once we've connected with them, a couple things we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find out what role they play in the buying decision of your products and services, or who is it we should be talking to. And then ultimately, what are the challenges they're facing out there? So we see this large pad that they put in. We see this compressor. We use the well information to see the compressor information they put in recently. And we're going to use that information to say, what are your challenges? What are you hoping to achieve from an automation perspective? And then that'll get us in a position to go out and service the client. So that's kind of a quick overview. I know I throw a lot on the video, but this is the infrastructure we put in that can be repeatable for yourself and any salespeople that you happen to bring into your organization.